Joker 2. Folie, whatever. Is an interesting movie. A lot of people have said it's not very good. A lot of people, honestly, whose opinions I respect a little bit more, like Kojima, have said it's a secret masterpiece that people just aren't getting, but in like a decade, people are really going to understand what this movie is. And I'm actually kind of more inclined to agree with Kojima here. It's not a perfect movie, but it's an interesting idea because most of the movie takes place in like two settings. It's very different than the first movie. But I think it fixes a lot of the problems that I had with the first movie. Some of them, anyway. In the video for the first movie, I discussed how I don't really like that it doesn't add anything to the Joker, that it doesn't really add anything to the movies it's copying, and that it just made it, like, it's a fine movie, but it's hard for me to find a place for it in, like, as far as watching it goes. Like, there's never a time where I'm like, let's watch the Joker. I'd rather watch one of these other options that are just that but better. In this case, I actually don't think that's the case anymore. Like, I would watch this again because it's good. Like, it's actually a pretty good movie. It has its flaws, and we'll get to that in a second. But the singing is pretty good. The song choice is pretty good. It obviously is, again, copying other songs. It's more of a jukebox musical in that it's playing, songs from other musicals, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But let's start from the top here. Joaquin Phoenix is back. He's great. He's back in this one again, and obviously he was the highlight of the first one, playing in a very good role as the Joker, and he's doing the same here. This feels good. Harley Quinn is played by Lady Gaga, and not gonna lie, there's a little bit of bias here. I love Gaga. It's hard for me to be like, no, she's terrible. She's not. But that being said, she is a very good actress in pretty much everything she's been in. I'm not a huge fan of American Horror Story, but I've seen one of two of the seasons with her in it. I did watch those, and she was good in both. I think it's Hotel, where she plays like the red dress lady with the metal hand or something, and then she's like, I think she has a minor role in Roanoke. Was it Roanoke? Whatever. Anyway, she was pretty good in that when I watched it. This is going back years now. She's also obviously in A Star Is Born, which is a fantastic movie. She's in House of Gucci, again, great movie. She does a really good job on that. So she doesn't have a ton of acting credits, but when she does do something, it's really good. And she's really good in this. And honestly, that adds a lot, because in the first movie, it's really carried by Joaquin Phoenix. That's not to say the other actors in the movie aren't bad. De Niro is obviously great. Zazie Beetz is doing a fantastic job. So is Frances Conroy. And, like, they all do a good job in that movie. However, everything that they do relies incredibly heavily on the Joker being good, and like, I don't know, it just feels a little bit different. Like, they don't feel like a main character, they feel like a secondary, they feel like more supporting cast. Even though De Niro is billed as like the second lead, I don't really feel like he is. They feel much more supporting character. Very relatively small roles, but they're doing really good with it. In this, Gaga feels almost like a second lead. She's in almost as many scenes. Like, she's in most of the scenes that Joker's in. They're together a lot of this movie. And honestly, she kind of is stealing the show from Joker a little bit. That might just be because I'm more interested in her character, because I don't really love this version of the Joker, but she's a lot of fun. So the plot of the movie, so Joker is on trial in this movie, and we kind of just work our way through like what actually happened. Is he crazy? Is the Joker a persona? And it's mostly interesting. It's kind of just like a retelling of the first movie, which is sort of fun because it does answer a lot of these questions. Not, I don't want to say answers, but it does kind of address some of the problems I have with the first movie where did these things happen? Was he going crazy? He is an unreliable narrator, and like, so it kind of calls into question a lot of stuff. And yeah, like, he's confirmed to just be stalking this woman. Zazie Beetz' character just is like, yeah, he was fucking creepy. We had to leave the city and our home because of this. And like, yeah, he admits that he killed his mother in this one, and you know, he's tries to defend himself by saying he let his work friend go, and like, regardless, overall, it's a pretty good movie. It's hard to get into the plot too much because the plot is very much just a retelling of the last plot, but to a courtroom, and there are some new things. Most of the new things are just his relationship with Harley, which is great. I love that. And then, like, some of the prison stuff is pretty fun. Like, the guards are pretty funny in this. There's an obvious there's an obvious scene in this movie that I'm not a fan of, but it kind of calls back to the first movie where we can assume that is what happened as well. This is a rough one. You gotta watch the movie. If you haven't seen it, if you're worried, like, oh, people are saying it's bad, I just don't want to watch it, take the time to watch the movie. It's something where it's really hard to explain what makes it good and bad. And a lot of people are just like defaulting to, oh, it's bad. It's not what the first one was, bad. Kind of anyone who was following this movie knew that this was going to happen. They turned what was like a crime drama, high, production, again, a Scorsese movie into a musical. Like, it was gonna turn some people off, and that's fine, but I think it's doing really good at what it's trying to do, even if what it's trying to do is not what people wanted from the sequel. So with that in mind, I highly recommend watching the movie. It is good. I think it's pretty good. I think it's better than the original Joker movie, but it's still not the best Joker movie that came out last year, so, like, is it even worth your time? Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.